Hi, I'm Aaron from CAPS, and I'm here to spend a few minutes talking about crisis situations and skills you can use to effectively manage them. How many of you have been in a situation that felt completely overwhelming or paralyzing when it was actually not as dangerous as our feelings made it out to be? The human nervous system, while amazing in so many ways, is not very good at discerning between emotional and physical threats. This is because when it's activated, it can cause your body to respond just as strongly to an argument, a breakup, or taking an exam as it does when facing a truly life-threatening situation. The good news is there are things you can do to manage your nervous system, navigate crisis situations, and avoid making a tough situation worse. Here are 3 skills to get you started. Let's begin with the STOP technique. It stands for stop, think, observe, and proceed. Let's take a look at each of these. First is stop. That means to make a conscious effort to pause before reacting. Visualize a big red stop sign if you need to. Take a few deep breaths into your belly. This will calm your nervous system and help to avoid overreaction on your part. Stop is followed by think. This is a good time to focus your thoughts on empathy for yourself and anyone else involved in the situation. Remind yourself that we are all human, we all have our own challenges, and we don't always show up at our best. When we are intentional about empathy, it leaves less room for negative thoughts and judgments to cloud our ability to manage a crisis effectively. Next is observe. While you're pausing, notice what you need in the moment, and notice what the needs are of others involved. If we can identify unmet needs and start working to get them resolved, the crisis will usually move towards resolution as well. For example, let's say your roommate is upset with you. Instead of jumping into an argument or becoming defensive, try pausing, using some empathy, and noticing what your roommate's unmet needs are. It may be that he or she just wants to feel heard or express some frustration about something you've done. Using empathy can help you consider the other person's experience in the situation and remind you of times when you've had similar feelings or frustrations. Remember that when people act in hurtful ways, it's usually because they're not feeling very well themselves. This doesn't excuse their behavior, but it can help you stay calm and make the best choice for moving forward. That brings us to the P, or proceed. Once you've calmed your nervous system with deep breaths, focused your thinking on empathy for yourself and others, and observed what the needs are for resolution, you're ready to proceed with clarity and intention. We're going to teach you how to do that with our next skill, which is called Wise Mind. Basically, you have 3 states of mind: the emotional mind, the logical mind, and the wise mind. Everyone has and uses each of these to varying degrees, and let's talk about what they are. The emotional mind is where passion and impulsivity live. It causes us to act in emotional impulses with little consideration for the consequences. It can overwhelm your system with energy, from joy, anger, love, or drain out all your energy when in a state of depression. People running on high emotion can be dramatic and fun, and also risk coming across as impatient, hurtful, or careless. In a crisis situation, a person reacting from a purely emotional space is going to have difficulty maintaining control and is likely to make the situation worse. Logical mind is an intellectual or scientific state of mind that defines reality in terms of facts, numbers, or cause and effect. It allows us to take a calculated approach to solving problems and often does so without accounting for the feelings of others. People functioning in a purely logical state of mind can often be viewed as organized, intentioned, or maybe critical or even cold. Crisis situations tend to have an emotional element to them. The person responding to a crisis with only the logical mind will likely have a hard time connecting with others involved or earning their trust. The wise mind is the place where the emotional and logical minds overlap. It is the marrying of our ability to be emotionally aware and paying attention to the facts of the situation. This allows for deeper understanding of the situations and greater empathy when working through them. In a crisis situation, it's important to use your wise mind to take into account both the facts and the feelings involved. This will help you to connect with the individuals involved and find solutions that everyone can live with. So going back to our roommate argument, your emotional mind may want you to win an argument to protect your ego, and your logical mind may find a whole bunch of reasons why you're right. But your wise mind can view the whole situation and guide you to let go of your ego. Consider the emotions of your roommate and find some simple solutions that can bring you closer as friends instead of driving you farther apart. Our last skill to help us manage a crisis is called radical acceptance. Sometimes you'll run into a problem that is simply out of your control, or a problem that you can't fix right now. It can be easy to think this just isn't fair, or things shouldn't be this way. And while that may be true, getting sidetracked or stuck worrying about a situation can get in the way of figuring out what to do and can actually make things worse. Let's say your partner broke up with you. Maybe you knew it was coming, or maybe it came out of nowhere. In situations like this, we have some choices. We can either spin out on negative thoughts about ourselves or the situation. We can blame others for what happened, or we can accept the situation for what it is. What this will allow you to do is to use your energy to focus on problem solving and coping rather than being stuck suffering. If I continue to beat myself up about the past, it leaves me stuck there. If I say, okay, I need to take care of myself, here is how I'm going to do that, I have a much better chance of making the best out of a painful situation. In this case, I can't go back in time and change things. Radical acceptance does not mean that you condone or even agree with the situation. It simply allows us to accept that the situation is what it is and make decisions to take care of ourselves and focus on the things that we can change. This will all lead to you having less anxiety and less frustration. The STOP technique, wise mind, radical acceptance, these are all skills that can help you to work through a crisis situation and avoid making it worse. Remember to be kind to yourself and others when crisis occurs. As with any skills, the more you practice, the more your body and mind will be ready to utilize those skills when you need them. You may want to check out the CAPS Wellness 101 and mindfulness videos for more tips on managing your stress. Don't wait for a crisis to happen. Start using these skills in everyday life when you're feeling stressed, agitated, or upset about something. Check out the handout in the description section to help think through steps you can take to be proactive in managing crises.